YouTube, what the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage here. We are back at the Hannibal of the Gates campaign, and I don't know if y'all could just tell me in the comments real quick. I'll watch it myself to see, but someone had told me that the TGN intro was a lot louder than the rest of the video, so I think I have it adjusted. That's good feedback. I appreciate you letting me know about it. So let me know if it's any better. I mean, obviously it may not have bothered some of you, but if it was something that bothered you, let me know if it's better, and hopefully we've got it sorted. In any case, let's take a look at where we're at. So on the same turn end, I believe, where the Romans had attacked me, I'm now being attacked by, I believe these guys are the Vascones. Yeah. And they've sallied out from their city where they were at to attack my force that was on the way to ravage them. Their army has better swords than me, but I do have elephants and artillery, so I'm feeling somewhat confident here. But we'll see how things go. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the Throwback Thursday, by the way. That first one was Shogun 2. And there's a lot of comments on there about people who think Shogun 2 is better than Rome 2. That's fine. I don't have anything against people who think that. And just because I disagree with you, don't take it personally either. I just like Rome 2 better. It's a personal preference. And some of you are convinced that on a factual basis, Shogun 2 is better. And again, that's fine. But once again, it remains an opinion. And again, like I said, I'm not telling you not to comment or not to say it or anything else. But I'm just glad you all enjoyed me showing Shogun 2, whether it's because you like it better or not. And of course, I have other plans going forward for future Total War throwback videos, of course. So keep an eye out for that. I'm excited about it. I have had requests for everything from Rome to medieval, Empire, and there's a lot of good ideas out there. So, and in the throwback videos, occasionally I might mix things up. It won't necessarily always be a historical battle or an online battle. It would be hard for me to play a campaign on a video that I would only release once a week. But it's not to say that maybe I couldn't think of something to show you all some campaign from those games. I am somewhat limited in time, so it'd have to be something that I can do. But if you have ideas, feel free to mention it. A lot of times, some of the best ideas that I get, of course, come from you all, and I appreciate that a great deal. Good feedback, of course, generally speaking, helps me to do better. I am thinking about going to the top of this hill, but now that I look at it, I'm not sure that it's actually needed. Yeah, I don't think that I really need to do that. I'm going to group these guys up so that I can move them. I'm actually going to choose to fight down here on this flat ground, because I don't want to get caught on the way to the top of the hill and be forced into an early engagement when I have such an artillery advantage. I'd really prefer to make the most of that artillery advantage. I don't know if it makes any difference, but I've kind of liked grouping my ballista up in a formation like this, maybe hoping that their volleys are a little tighter rather than being spread out if I spread them thin. I don't know if that's true or not, but it seems like it's true of these type of missile units like skirmishers. But then again, I could just be dreaming things, I don't know.
War elephants!
Put these guys here. And let's put my skirmishers up front. And let's start the battle and see what happens. The Vascones are going to be assaulting me, as it was their choice to fight. They're not in ballista range to start with. There are enemy reinforcements apparently from some direction. Let's take a look at some of these Celt-Iberian troops that are here with the Vascones. I really like a lot of the Celt-Iberian troops, who are just Iberian troops. And not to say that the Celtic troops aren't cool too. That is one of the things that I really like about Rome 2, is that there is a large number of different units, and a large number of different cultures, and factions, and landscapes. That's just one of the reasons why I like it. But I mean, it's interesting to see how different Total War games have played out. Like, for instance, I liked Empire Total War better than Napoleon. Now some people are like, Air, you're crazy. Yeah, I know. The two games were a lot different. No question, Napoleon had better graphics, and, well, I say that. It did have better graphics, but there was actually something a little more, it's almost like it was maybe the colors or something that I like better about Empire. And I also like the more, the slowed down pace of the battles in Empire. I love the fire by rank, the reloading time. It just added this awesome sense of, strategy for me. Like, you had to time your volley just right. You had to do everything just right, and I liked it. Not to say that the game didn't have its issues. It most certainly did. But, that was the reason why I liked it, and probably why I wasn't so into Napoleon, is because, as you all know, I'm no master of micromanagement, and Napoleon was much heavier on micromanagement, unless it didn't suit my purpose quite as well. But in any case, yeah, all the past Total War games have things about them that I like. Even Medieval 2, which is funny because I really don't enjoy the medieval time period as much. But I found myself playing campaign for quite a while on Medieval 2 at one point. I haven't played the game hardly at all, probably the least of all the Total War games that I have. But it was enjoyable nonetheless. So I think it's just the series in general that I find myself liking, and just really enjoy playing it, I guess. That's probably why I don't make videos on other games, really. Not to say that I wouldn't like bringing you videos in some of my other games that I enjoy. Like, for instance, I love the Knights of the Old Republic games. Oh my gosh, it'd be so funny to get like Darth Patchy and take you all through a walkthrough on that, and watch you all see me, you know, fail and succeed or whatever else it is. I mean, I think that would be fun. But the problem is with these other games too is that, you know, it's quite easy for me to make Total War videos, and Sega and the Creative Assembly are pretty friendly about allowing you to do this. But other games are not quite so nice on YouTube, and my channel's partnered, and it just worries me, you know, if I go to making videos on certain games where the developer might not be so happy with what I'm doing, and I just don't want to screw up my YouTube channel over something so simple. But there are some games where that's not the case, and they tell you up front whether or not you're allowed to use their game for footage, so I could look into some. But again, I started the channel on Total War, and I guess I like to keep it pretty much focused on Total War. It's not to say that I'll never show anything different, but I guess that I like, in general, to keep it focused here, because if you've subscribed, then that's pretty much what you came to see. But again, not to say that I would never try anything different or show you anything different. Alright, well, let's do some killing of the Vascones. What I'm going to do, actually, is drop these guys into Hoplite Phalanx. Put these guys on quick reload, see if I can get some quick shots on their Iberian skirmishers. Why their guys are getting volleys off faster than my own. Let's get my skirmishers back at this point. No, I didn't want you to move, you goons. Take them off fire at will. My skirmishers didn't quite get away in time. My mistake. I've got my Libyan hoplites in phalanx mode up front. I'll take my elephants to the flanks. This is not Hannibal, so I can be a little less careful. Let's use my general to raffle stomp these cav units here. I didn't realize they were coming into my flank. And then we'll start working the flanks of the enemy units here. I'm going to see if we can get some cav through this gap here. Oh no, there's more troops actually coming in back there, so I probably just mostly got that Celt-Iberian cav killed. My elephants, of course, raffle stomping their way through the enemy troops here from the flank. Elephants are a little more susceptible these days to damage, and especially with my own skirmishers firing towards mine, so I best to be careful. In fact, my general has lost a few men here, which is... ah, dadgummit. Got some Scutarii cav into my men there. Let's go keep the raffle stomp going here. It's my Celt-Iberian cav to safety. I'm letting it get killed. And let's get this one to safety, and let's get my Libyan hoplites out of phalanx, pull them forward, and get these mercenary veteran hoplites moving as well. Alright, that enemy cav unit's been destroyed that was after my ballista. Let's bring in my general to take down those swords. And let's take these elephants over here real quick. See if we can knock these guys out of the picture. Oh crap! I let these veteran shield warriors get a hold of my men here. Let's bring these guys around. See if we can pin these Iberian swordsmen, and I'm gonna take my elephants on into these units. Got my elephants in here. You can see the AI is gonna put up a little bit more of a fight now that it's on very hard. But it shouldn't be too bad for me to deal with them still. My general has taken quite a bit of damage, and part of me wants to pull out of that fight. I think I will. I may lose him pulling out of the fight, though. Let's bring some excess units down here to fill in where my general's going to leave. You can leave now, Mr. General. Wow. That was a pretty brutal-looking volley that just came out of the skirmisher. Let's take them out. And I did get my elephant out. Almost. These veteran shield warriors are just cutting right through my sword units, which is understandable. That's no function of the difficulty setting, it's just the fact that that's a much, much better unit. And let's get into the back of this group right here with our Celtic Light Horse. Those Iberian swordsmen, I can probably defeat them. And then I'm going to bring my general back to this fight, actually. Oh, I didn't have flaming javelins on with my elephants. That would have helped. Now we're going to route these veteran shield warriors with a rear charge from my general. And we're going to route these swords here.
Battle is turning in our favor.
There's another veteran shield warrior in this vicinity. If we can charge in. I've lost quite a few elephants in that unit, but I do believe we can keep it alive. That was a pretty costly battle. I didn't fight it as well as I could have. But, I mean, to be honest, the enemy had a lot of sword troops, and I didn't, and my ballista weren't really able to get a ton of kills. Overall, I mean, mismanaged this cav and some of my other infantry, but it was still a victory. I did lose a mercenary veteran, Hopwhite. So this is the point where a lot of you want me to push onward, rather than fall back and regroup. I honestly do need to regroup, though, because keep in mind that I just defeated those forces, but they still have... Since when are these guys at war with me? I guess I wasn't paying attention. They've got a whole stack of idiots down here. They're attacking Abora. And there is no way in Hades that I can stop them, especially with that noble fighter in there. He could kill my entire army alone. So I'm going to have to auto-resolve this, unfortunately. And we're going to have to go do something about these goons. I guess I should have paid more attention to who was on my borders. Because those guys are going to need to go down. And they negotiated a peace with the Cantabri. I thought I had an army. Nope, it's headed back to Carthago. It would have been my nearest army. So Abora was taken. Olispo is now in trouble because of this fleet raiding out here. And because of Abora having fallen to these guys. I need an army here, and to be honest, the closest one to respond is Hannibal. Which I know some of you won't want him to go, because you want him to head to Italy, and that's fine. I intend to take him to Italy, but to be quite honest, he's needed to help continue pacify Iberia at this point. Like I said, well, this army's not too far, but they're going to have to regroup, and they're not strong enough to do it alone. So I do believe that my only real option here is to bring Hannibal over to the situation. The Aravasi won't want me crossing their lands. Maybe. Let's see. Let's see who they both like and dislike. They're at war with the Lusitani, which means that they're not going to completely hate me.
I welcome you, worthy speaker. The man who hangs upon the shield of another is nothing but a burden.
He's not interested in military access either. These guys are just going to be less than helpful in general. And I could trespass their lands to simply get through. I doubt there's much they could do to stop me. These guys, though, are right next door to the Vascones. Just trying to think how best to play this out. Let's see. So I have 6 out of 8 armies possible, which means that I could technically raise a small army in both Olispo and Kartuba to protect them from this army. And since both of them are walled settlements, I would have some chance of holding these guys off. Albeit not a large chance, because I would really need African pikemen to do that. I still say that I should probably put a general at one of these locations. Olispo, Kartuba is not at risk of... Let's go ahead and raise a force here. See if we can find a Barkid Dynasty member. Take this guy. Raise an army. And we'll definitely give him the elephants. We're going to need them. And what we can do is... And I could use a fleet over here, to be honest, too. I don't think I have a fleet anywhere near, though. Get rid of that annoying Lusitani crap fleet that's raiding me. I'm not going to have a ton of money to do this with. But, you know, I'd have a few hoplites probably in my garrison force, be my guess. Yeah, I'd have 4 hoplites in my garrison force. So let's go ahead and just tank up on some javelin men on this turn. And then let us raise a force here as well. We'll find another Barkid Dynasty member. Take this guy here. Raise another army, which is definitely going to hurt my upkeep because of the elephants. And then I'm going to probably do something similar here. Yeah, I have another good hoplite defense, and this will just hopefully help me at least cause a good deal of damage to the enemy troops if they attack my city, while Hannibal comes back to bail them out, essentially. And I'm trying to think of the best route for Hannibal to take. I'm almost thinking to have this army here pacify the Vascones. They do have another settlement at Bertigala, but then I could then march against their forces. I just need to get to their land and get there quickly. I could pass through my allies' land down here, and that would get me there fairly quick. There is no quick way to get there, unfortunately. Not without passing through someone else's lands. Which I am definitely considering. I think I will pass through Arvasi lands. I think I'm going to ignore their diplomatic plea and just force march through their land, or close to it. It'll be somewhat of a risk, but I think we can pull it off. That's probably about all I can do for this turn, and this video is not quite done yet, so I guess I'll go ahead and end one more turn and see where it lands us. 2 more turns. What am I researching right now? I'm researching, okay, so I get more wealth from industry. Wealth from all regions, trade, tariff. Ooh, man, minus 20% corruption and more pack. That would be a fantastic one to research.
The way is blocked.
For some reason, my income just went way back up. It had been down, I thought. Well, let's see what the Romans are up to. Are they coming back for seconds at Hippo Regius? Seems like they would have learned their lesson there. My fleet's almost ready to go face them. Lusitani. That's where this army went. I knew I had another army, and it was north towards the Lusitani. I recall now. Well, good. Now this army can help me finish this fight, too, and perhaps we can get Hannibal back out. That's probably what we should do, is get Hannibal out. Not that I have to rush the invasion of Italy, but, you know, it'd just be fun to go kill the Romans. Alright, now this army is perfectly capable of defending itself, so let's fight this, and this will probably be the end of this video. I have a good line of Scutarii and Iberian swords here that ought to be able to handle the enemy troops, as well as some good melee cav and an elephant general and a bunch of Balearic slingers and javelins. So, like I said, this army will be more than capable of handling itself. I'm going to put my Scutarii in the center, whatever that's supposed to mean. Put my Carthaginian hoplites on this flank, and just put my slingers behind the line here. Oh, I have Iberian and Balearic slingers here, not 4 Balearic slingers. We'll turn them on to fire at will, and I'm going to save these javelins in reserve for just such a target as I feel like they're necessary. I'm going to put my Carthaginian cav to support my light swords, and I'm going to put my general and my Spanish cav to support my hoplites. Okay, let us start the battle. Go ahead and move my troops forward just a little. Let's see, the Lusitani are going to be getting reinforcements that will have to march from the back of the map.
Reinforcements approaching.
They will probably want to wait for these reinforcements, so I actually think I'm going to push forward. There we go. Because I want to get within slinger range. They have some Iberian slingers of their own, but they ought to be pretty well outmatched by 4 slinger units, and then 2 of mine are just downright better than theirs. Okay, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and just keep pushing forward here. And try and get within range of the Lusitani. If I push my slingers ahead of my infantry, the Lusitani cav will charge me. At least if I understand AI behavior, which I don't entirely, but that's typically what they do, which is easy for me to stop, but it usually starts a big ol' cluster of crap. We'll just leave it at that. Let's go ahead and do it, though. And I want my cav nearby to support,
We await your orders.
because they will almost assuredly charge.
Slinkers! Grouped and ready!
Take all these guys off fire at will. Rapid reload. How did the Libyan Peltis get up here? And what are you taking so long doing?
Get running!
Okay. Well, their slingers are almost gone already. I only killed 2 of my own men. They were probably targeting my infantry. Kinda looks like they might be.
Slinkers! Take aim!
Okay, the Iberian slingers are dead. They've got a mercenary Cantabrian cav coming. I'm gonna target it. It's trying to make way for my flank. See if I can hit it with a good volley of slinger fire. And here comes the cav charge that I predicted. Don't say air didn't tell you. So we're going to intercept the mercenary Iberian cav. And I'm going to pull my slingers back, which that mercenary Iberian cav got a lot of kills still on my slingers. And I'm just going to put my slingers into fire at will at this point. And I'll push back this other enemy cav unit. We were able to mop up that mercenary Iberian cav pretty easily. And it looks like there's a Cantabrian cav over here that has absolutely destroyed my mercenary my hoplites. Wow. Didn't realize these guys had enough ammo or damage to pull that off. I can't very well chase them down with the hoplite unit though, and now the enemy's chasing me with their swords over here. It's fine, I'll just lead them back to my infantry line. I tell you what, the AI is annoyingly good at targeting your infantry with its skirmishers. I'm gonna target this veteran shield warrior.
Shieldmen!
Battle ready!
I'm gonna see if I can shoot this gap right here. And then let's get my elephant up here.
Surrender is not an option. We understand.
Our general is under attack.
Okay, my general is under flaming shot from enemy skirmishers. Trying to get my cav back here because there is a considerable amount of enemy skirmish fire pouring in from the backfield. I've pretty much won an advantage over here. Let's pour it on over and see if we can hit these Lusitani nobles. Freak! Javelins, here, now, rapid reload. Chasing off my Carthaginian cav. Let's see if we can get my war elephants forward. I almost lost my mercenary Iberian swordsman over here to one of their own sword units. This Carthaginian cav is making a mess of their skirmishers, but still a lot of work to be done. Lusitani nobles are still kicking butt. And let's pull my elephants through here and put an end to this silly resistance. There's another Lusitani noble there. Those guys are just beastly. Let's pour some more men into this fight. So even with my javelins flying in and 3, now 4-on-1 sword units, 5-on-1 make that, it's going to be long odds for my units. That Lusitani noble is a very powerful unit, and my cav has once again gotten caught by the spear unit.
The enemy general is dead.
Let's take these guys out. Perhaps that spear unit wants to be introduced to a... If they want to fight a cav unit, I've got a cav unit here for him. That is my elephants. Okay, my 2 javelin units are free, and my slingers are free to just open fire on this Lusitani noble. I'm going to chase down these fleeing troops. And I think I'm going to continue the battle actually just momentarily. My general won't be a whole lot of help in this particular effort. But my, let's see, are there any high value targets fleeing right now other than Iberian tribesmen? We took pretty substantial damage there. Not good.
Ready for battle!
And, let's see if I can get my swords out of the way. I've got all my javelins firing at these fleeing Lusitani nobles.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Slingers, I should say. I just want to chase down a few of these routing troops so they have a few less men whenever the whole thing's said and done. And my slingers aren't getting a whole lot of kills on these Lusitani nobles even while they're routing. My cav's pretty well mopped up most of these guys. Iberian skirmishers, no threat. Iberian swordsmen, skirmishers. Let's just take down the nobles at this point.
Warriors eager for
I don't
blood!
think any of the other targets are really worth my time. We've mowed down some of these spear units. Those guys are going to make it off the battlefield. Yeah, it's just these Lusitani nobles that are left. So we'll just watch my Carthaginian cav run them down. Which ought to be a pretty easy task for him, I would think. But running down troops on this game is not as quick and brutal and swift as it was on the first Rome Total War. It does take a little bit longer because the guys kind of go through a death animation anytime they match up against someone. But these Lusitani nobles who were such a threat, now not such a threat, being chased off the battlefield in shame, hanging their heads low in exhaustion. But yeah, as you can see, it still takes a while for the men to be killed, which is fine. In real life, it's not like the fleeing men would just allow you to kill them. I'm not saying that it wouldn't have been an easier task than fighting them, while they were still believing they were going to win, but still understandable that maybe it just doesn't happen instantly, as no one wants to lay down and die.
The enemy general is dead.
Okay, that's what I wanted, mostly, so now we can end it. I just wanted to kill all their generals. That's pretty much going to be it for this episode. Did suffer some losses there, 938 of them. We dealt it out to the enemy, but we suffered some of our own. We probably have enough to go ahead, though, and just push forward and take the city, because that would have been their garrison force that came out after me. This one. And with it pretty much gone, their general's gone, this is going to be the time to act, I believe. Though they may get one of their generals back, since that was technically a turn-in now. That Lusitani fleet has stopped raiding. And of course they pull up an agent right behind me. Alright, the Barkid Brethren have ranked up. Other dynasties getting a promotion. Rally horsemen. Okay, let's see if we can
Ready for order. We take
their city here.
for you.
Yeah, see, they have a new general there, and they got all of these troops back. That's kind of weird, like how they get all of them back. I'm gonna go ahead and auto-resolve this and take the city from them. I may suffer some losses, but at least this will allow my army to start retraining, and I can just regather any troops that I've lost, which is just an Iberian cav and a Scutari mercenary. So we'll just go ahead and occupy.
Come on.
And this basically takes the Lusitani now down to one small settlement, which ought to limit their usefulness and puts me within striking distance of the Tones, who are my next target. So with that, we're going to leave it. HeirofCarthage signing off for now.